All right. Good evening to everybody. Today we are going to be doing part two of our midterm practice test slash study guide. We're going to be reviewing over questions 11 through 19. So if you have not studied over what we worked on in the last video, make sure you review over questions 1 through 10. And then after today, you should be able to study questions 11 through 19 also so that you'll be prepared for your test on tomorrow. So we're going to go ahead and get started today. We're going to start with Miss Akira and have her read number 11 and get some help from her to see if we can solve part A.
Fill in the blanks to make each math sentence true. -6 plus A equals 9. 12 plus B equals -9. -9 plus C equals -3. And 3 plus D equals -6.
All right, so what are you thinking for part A? What would you add to -6 to get to +9?
Wouldn't it be like 12? I think I'm counting wrong.
Let's see. 12 plus -6 would be 6. So we need a few more than 12. What do you think, Akira?
I'm still thinking.
All right. So we've written it down as a way to find our answer. Since these are opposite signs, when we have opposite signs, we subtract and then we take the value of the one that is further away from 0. So we have.
Is it 15?
It is 15. 9 minus -6 would equal 15. Now, I had 3 people that raised their hand. Could one of you please explain it to why 15 is correct?
Equaler. Basically, since it says -6 plus blank equals 9, and at first she said 12 and it was 6, so we knew that we had to add like 3 more to get to 9. But that's how we got 15.
Great job. Did anybody do it a different way?
I did.
All right. What did you do, Satari?
I put like a number line in my head.
Okay.
And like he said, when she said 12, it was 6. I went 3 more times to the right and got 9. +9.
All right. And what did you do, Devin?
Basically the same thing that Satari did.
All right. So
But
from 9 to 0 is 9 units, right? From 0 to -6 is 6 units. So from -6 to 9 would be how many units in all?
15.
Perfect. Does that make sense? Does that sound right, Devin?
Yes, sir.
All right. That looked good, Satari? All right.
That seemed easier in my opinion.
All right. Good deal. Good deal. Okay, so let's take a look at our next problem. Go ahead and try this for us, Laura, part B.
You want me to read? Okay. On 11?
Yes, ma'am. 11, part B.
Okay, 12 plus blank equals -9, and I got -21.
All right. Tell me how you got that answer.
Well, I thought about it like negative. If I did negative 12, it would be 0.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I added another negative 12, it would be negative 24.
Okay.
And then I kind of did it mentally. I don't really remember.
But that works, though. I see what you're saying. So if we were at 12 right here, and you went from 12 to 0, that would be 12 units to the left. And if we're going to the left, that's going to be not positive. It would be what?
Negative.
Negative. And then you went 9 more units to the left. And so when you do negative 9 plus negative 12, what do we get?
Negative 21.
Correct. Is that making sense to everybody? Hope so.
Yes, sir.
All right. Angel S, I want you to do part C. So we got negative 9 plus something equals negative 3.
6.
All right, she said 6. Tell me why.
So you have negative 9, and if you add a positive number to it, it won't go down with the negatives. It'll add to it.
Okay.
And I know 9 minus 6 is 3.
Okay.
So negative 9.
All right. I think Brooklyn wants to add to that. Yes, ma'am, Brooklyn.
I was wondering if I could do the next one.
Well, I actually got Angel Vite doing this, but I'm calling on you very soon, okay?
Okay.
Go ahead, Miss Angel.
So what I did was 3 plus negative 6 plus negative 3 equals negative 6.
All right, so we got negative 6 minus 3, which is the same as saying negative 6 plus negative 3. So how many units is that going to be from positive 3 to negative 6?
Negative 3.
Let's take a look at it. Brooklyn, do you want to add to that?
No, sir.
All right, so we're at 0. We started at 3. Okay. And then we're going to negative 6. So from here to here is 3 units to the left. Then we go 6 units to the left. So from here to here would be how many units? Since we're going to the left, we know it's negative. What is 3 and 6 combined?
Negative 9.
Good. Anybody have a question about how we've been solving these? All right, so when I said that I wanted you to write down everything that we did, so right now what you should have written down is basically everything that's purple on the screen right now. So you need to take notes of this right here. I'm going to give you about 15 seconds to get that written down. All right, so we are going to move to our next question, which is number 12. We're going to start with Mr. Devin. Devin, would you read this for us and then explain how to solve them, please, sir?
Yes, I will. Lynn is a contestant on a popular game show. In the game, contestants win or lose points based on their answers to trivia questions. Correct answers win points, and incorrect answers lose points. With 2 questions left in the game, Lynn had 50 points. At the end of the game, Lynn had 0 points. What could have happened in the last 2 questions? Select all that apply.
All right. What are you thinking?
Ain't nobody gonna be
I'm thinking that one of the answers is probably the first one.
Say it again.
The first one.
All right. How do you get it?
Oh, it's different on our computers.
That's okay. So let's look at the first one on mine where it says Lynn. Right here.
Yeah, on ours, that's not the first one.
What's okay? Read this.
Lynn missed a 50-point question, then answered another 50-point question correctly.
All right. So what would we do? What did Lynn start with?
She had 50 points.
Correct.
So if she gets one incorrect, that means she'd be at 0. And then if she gets one correct, that means she'd be at 50. And since she ended up with 0 points, then that means that would be incorrect.
Correct. All right. Let's try the next one.
Me again?
Let's do this one. Yes, sir.
Lynn missed a 150-point question, then answered a 100-point question correctly. So if she had 50 points already, then you take away 150 points, you'd be at negative 100. And then if you add 100, you'd be at 0. So that one is correct.
Great. Does anybody have a question about what he just explained? All right, let's look at the next one, Braden.
Which situation best describes?
No. Like this one right here, E. See if it's going to be
Oh.
right or wrong.
Would it be right?
Tell me why. What'd she start off with? She starts off with 50 points. All right. And then it says she answered one correctly. So we would add 50. And then it says she misses one that's worth 100. So we would have to subtract 100. So what's 100 minus 100?
0.
All right. And that says that's what we're looking for. So that has to be correct. All right. Looking at the next one, Brendan. Start at 50. And then it says she answered one correctly. So would we add or subtract 100?
Can you say that again?
Right here. She answers a 100-point question correctly. So would you add 100 or subtract 100?
Add.
Good. All right. And then it says she misses one that's worth 150. So you got 150. And if you miss it, are you adding or taking it away?
Taking it away.
And what's 150 minus 150?
0.
So is that a correct answer?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Our next one, Miss Brooklyn, says Lynn answered a 150-point question correctly, then missed a 100-point. So remember, we start with 50. Then it says she got one correct for 150. So would you add or subtract that, Brooklyn?
Could you repeat that?
Right here, Brooklyn.
You would add 150.
Good. And when we do that, we get what?
And get 200.
And then it says she missed 100-point. So would you add or subtract that?
Subtract.
And so what is that going to be?
100.
Great. So is that going to be the correct answer?
No.
No, because we wanted 0. Good. All right, number 13. This is Miss Satari. Miss Satari, can you read this for us, please, ma'am?
Which statement best describes opponent quantities that, when combined, make zero? Select all that apply.
All right, so we're looking for situations that, when combined, make zero. So start at A. So read A and then tell me if it would make zero.
In football, there is a loss of 6 yards on one play and later a gain of 6 yards.
Okay.
Yes.
No, you are correct, because -6 plus 6 equals what?
0.
Great. So that one works. All right, Hagen, looking at the next one. Read B and then tell us if it is correct or not correct.
Since 5 and -1 are both 3 units from 2, on a number line, 5 and -1 can be considered opposites.
Do you agree with that statement or disagree?
I disagree.
All right, and will they, if you add those together, will you get 0?
No.
No, you wouldn't. You would get 5 plus -1, which is what?
4.
4, so that would be wrong. All right, looking at the next one, let's go ahead. Miss Harmagine, part C.
A small child earns a quarter for doing chores. Later that day, finds a quarter in the parking lot.
So
I disagree.
all right, so they got a quarter in the morning, then they got a quarter in the evening. So how much money do they have, Hermagine? If you got 1 quarter and then you get another quarter, how many quarters do you have? Help her out, Satari.
You'll have 2 quarters but 50 cents.
Correct. And so that's not 0, so that would be wrong. All right, looking at the next one. Miss Khalees, part D.
On Monday, the value of a stock dropped 32 cents. On Tuesday, the stock gained 32 cents.
All right, so it dropped and then it gained. So how could I write that?
-32 plus 32.
Correct. And what's that going to equal?
0.
All right, so does that combine to make 0?
Yes.
Good. All right, and our last one, Miss Kalia.
Last month, the salesman was 12 points over his quota. This month, the salesman met his quota.
All right, so a quota is an amount that you have to sell to be able to stay on board for selling vehicles. So, or whatever they're selling. So last month he was 12 over. This month he actually met what he was supposed to. So let's just say he sold 1. That's all he had to sell. And then last month he sold 12. So if you combine those two, does it equal 0?
No.
No. So our only possible answers should be A, a loss of 6 yards and a gain of 6 yards, and D, a drop of 32 cents in the stock and a gain of 32 cents in the stock. All right, moving on along to number 14. Number 14, Miss Kendriana. Can you read this, please, ma'am? Kendriana Taylor,
Sir.
I need you to read question number 14 for us. And I want you to try to solve part A. So you start at where it says when. We can't hear you, Kendriana, if you're talking. Help her out, Nevaeh. I want you to start at when. Nevaeh, are you there?
When combining two positive numbers, always blank the absolute value of the numbers to find the positive sum. When combining one positive and one negative number, always blank the absolute value of the number to find the sum, which can be positive or negative. When combining two negative numbers, always blank the absolute value of the numbers to find the negative.
All right. So, Nevaeh, on part A, do you think that would be add, subtract, positive, or negative? What would you do when combining two positive numbers? Would you add?
I would add.
Say that again? Yes, you're right. We would add. Great job. All right, looking at that second one, Sanaya, part B. When combining one positive and one negative number, always do what with the absolute value of the numbers to find the sum?
Can you say that one more time?
When combining one positive and one negative number, always do what with the absolute value of the numbers to find the sum? Would you add, subtract, positive, or negative?
Subtract.
You're 100% correct. Great job. All right, and our last one, Miss Sophia. When combining two negative numbers, always blank the absolute value of the numbers to find the negative sum.
Subtract.
What did we do earlier when we combined two negative numbers? They had the same sign, so what did we do?
Added them.
That's right. So that's what we do. We add. All right, Sophia, I want you to go through. I want you to reread this with our newfound information in there. So start at when.
Combining two positive numbers, always add the absolute value of the numbers to find the positive sum. When combining one positive and one negative number, always subtract the absolute value of the number to find the sum, which can be positive or negative. When combining two negative numbers, always add the absolute value of the number to find the negative sum.
Okay. So let's move on to number 15. This is going to be Mr. Tamarian. Tamarian, can you read 15 for us?
Me?
Tamarian, can you read this?
Number 15?
Yep.
Fill in the blanks with a positive or negative. Their production is blank. If both numbers are positive, the product.
So hold up just a second, Tamarian. So the product means the answer to a multiplication problem. All right. So the product.
The product is blank if both numbers are negative. The product is blank if one number is negative and the other number is positive.
Okay. So what you think?
Me?
Yeah, for part A. What will the product be? If both numbers are positive and you multiply them together, are you going to get a positive or negative answer?
Positive?
You're right. Vincent, what would you get if both numbers are negative and you multiply them?
Negative number.
You sure? When both numbers have the same sign and we multiply, we get what type of answer? A positive. When we have opposite signs and we multiply them, what do we get?
Negative.
A negative. And so that's actually what this says. If one number is negative and the other number is positive, then the product will be what?
Negative.
Negative. All right.
Isn't B one of the problems where each two negatives equals a positive?
Correct. All right. So if you would, Miss Akira, would you reread over number 15 with our answers, please? Help her out, Alora. Can you read over that, please, ma'am, number 15 with our answers?
Product is positive if both numbers are positive. The product is positive if both numbers are negative. The product is negative if one number is negative and the other is positive.
Great job. All right, number 16. This is Miss Angel S. Miss Angel S. Can you read this for us?
16.
Yes, ma'am.
If A equals 3 and B equals negative 2, then which of the following are true? All that apply.
Okay.
A.
All right. Why do you say A?
Because isn't a fraction like dividing it?
Correct. And a fraction is a rational number. So this is correct. Good job. All right. Angel V, do you see any other answers on there?
D
All right, let's take a look at it.
or C? I'm not sure.
All right. So could you help her out, Devin?
Like, what do you mean by help her out? Like, solve it?
Well, like which one would be true? She said maybe D or C. So we're putting in a 3 for A and a negative 2 for B in every one of these situations. All right, so since we've done this, let's look at C. Would a negative divided by a negative be a positive?
No. Or it would, yeah.
It would. Isn't that what we just talked about? A negative,
Yes, it would.
yeah. So a negative divided by a negative will be a positive. All right, now looking at this one, this says that negative 3 halves is greater than negative 1. So that's like saying negative 1.5 is greater than negative 1. Is that right?
No.
No, it's not right. All right, now the next one says that 3 divided by negative 2 is positive. Is that true? Braden, is that true? A positive divided by a negative is positive?
No, sir, it's negative.
Correct. Good job. All right. And then the last one says that negative 1.5 is greater than 1. Is this greater than positive 1?
No, sir.
No, it's not. Anything to the left of 0 is getting smaller. Anything that's going to the right is getting larger. So I want you to write this down. This right here is important. So I want you to take a second to take some notes on that. All right, everybody should have had a chance to get that down. Now we're going to look at question number 17. We're going to rewrite this because I honestly do not like how they wrote it this way. I don't like that. So we're going to rewrite it the correct way. So this is going to be 6 times x plus 9 divided by 3 equals 21. All right, so Brendan, first step, what do we need to do to solve this? What's the first thing we would do?
You would do what's in parentheses first.
All right, and so in this case, we can't do x plus 9, can we? Because they're not like terms. So we need to take 6 and multiply it by everything inside of here. So we got to do 6 times x, and we got to do 6 times 9. I want everybody to be writing this down. So 6 times x is how many x's?
6.
Correct. And 6 times 9 is? Brooklyn, what's 6 times 9?
It's 54.
Correct. All right, so looking at step 1, does everything look right? Does my step 1 and their step 1 look correct?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Now the next thing would be for us to do what? Remember, we're following the order of operations.
Exponents.
All right, and we don't have any exponents. We've already multiplied, so what's the next step that we have to do if there's no more multiplication? Yeah, we got to divide. So we got to take 6x and divide by 3, and we got to take 54 and divide by 3. So what is 6x divided by 3? If you have 6 x's and you put it into 3 groups, how many do you have in each group?
2.
2 x's, good. And what is 54 divided by 3?
18.
Great job. So let's look at step 2 and see if it looks the same. Is step 2 the same as our step 2?
No.
No. So step 2 is our answer. That's what's wrong. All right, so let's keep working it. I want to solve it all the way. So we're at 2x plus 18 equals 21. All right, so how do I get 2x by itself, Satari?
Wouldn't you do it by the same?
I don't know. Help her out, whoever clicked on that just a second ago. What would we do to get 2x by itself? How do I get...
Subtract 18 for both sides?
Correct. All right, when I do that, I'm left with 2x equals what?
2.
What's 21 minus 18?
3.
3. All right, so now I have 2 times x equals 3. So how do I get x by itself? Anybody?
Subtract 3 from both sides.
Can't do that because I have 2 times x equals 3. So I got to get x by itself. So I got to do the opposite of multiplying by 2. I need to do what?
Divide by 2?
Correct. So I get 1 times x is x. And 3 divided by 2. So x is going to be what? 3 halves or what? What's 3 divided by 2?
1/2?
1.5, correct. That is correct. Anybody got a question? That look pretty good? All right. Moving on to number 18. All right, Khalees, I want you to do number 18 for us. Tell us what you got.
So I divided 525 divided by 16,094 first.
All right, so you did negative 236 divided by the number of days.
Yes.
So what did you get?
For that one, I got negative 7.86.
All right, and since it's 8 and then 6 and a 6 after it, it'll round to what?
7.
Good. All right, Brooklyn, you want to do letter B?
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead.
Well, give me a second because I gotta remember what I did.
You good?
For that one, I had multiplied $14.92 times 31, and I got $461.90. But since there was a 9 in the tens place, I think I had just made the 1 a 2.
Excuse me. All right, so you got 1492 times 31. And I got this.
Then I had got $461.90.
Try it again.
I had made the 1 a 2.
Try it again real quick. Put $14.92 in times 31.
Okay, now I got it.
All right, good. All right, and looking at this next one, Miss Harmagine, what would you do to figure out the profit or loss in August?
I don't know. I'm gonna get this one.
All right. Help her out, Nevaeh. What would you do? She left. What would you do, Birdie?
Wouldn't you multiply negative 1.76 times 31?
Correct. And what's that going to be?
It's going to be positive or negative?
Negative.
Negative, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so it would be negative $54.56.
Sounds good. All right, Miss Brooklyn, you got a question or you got something to add?
Never mind.
All right. So looking at that, does that look right, Brooklyn?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's go to our last question. I want Miss Sophia to go over this one for us.
Analyze the balance scale. What is the value of one cone if each shape represents a different amount? I put it equals to 2 cubes.
All right. So what did you do to find your answer?
Well, I just saw that it had 2 more cones than the left side did.
All right.
And it didn't have 4 of the blocks on the side.
All right.
So I divided the 4 blocks by 2 because that's how many cones were left.
I see. So you just kind of took away what you could to keep evening it out. And so you had 2 cones and 4 cubes.
Yes.
I got you. And then so what did you do to figure out how much would be for just 1 cone?
I divided the 4 by 2 because there's 2 cones.
Perfect. And so 1 cone is equal to how many cubes?
2.
Did anybody do that problem a little bit different than what Sophia did, or does everybody agree with that?
I did it the same way, yet different.
All right. So
So
what'd you do?
So what I did is I basically went through and did the process of elimination. So since on each side there's 2 balls, it's not going to be 2 balls or 1 ball because they didn't change.
Correct.
So it's going to be between the 2 or 3 cubes. And since there's 2 cones and 4 cubes, you would divide it, and it's not going to be 3, so it'd be 2.
Correct. That works out perfect. Does anybody have a question about anything that we've covered on questions 1 through 19? So we just covered 11 through 19.